This play wins 90% of the time in college football. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly the parameters that you need to be able to identify this bet. Now, if you guys want all my strategies for college football, all you got to do is click the link down in the description. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what type of play this is going to be. It's going to be a player prop. All right, and you might want to write down these parameters so that way you can understand exactly what it is that you need to look for. So the first thing, it's going to be a QB. All right, we're looking for a quarterback. Now, not just any quarterback. The quarterback needs to be a senior, okay? The reason why a quarterback needs to be a senior, because we need stats on this quarterback. If you have a freshman, a sophomore, you don't really have too much stats. You got maybe 1 year, maybe 2. But we would like to get a couple years at least of statistics of how this player has played. All right, so needs to be a senior. Now, he needs to be facing a bottom 20, okay? Because college football is a lot of college football teams, all right? So we could stretch it. Bottom 20 defense against the pass, okay? So it means he has a good matchup, obviously, because they're going against a defense that is susceptible for him to be able to grab some passing yards. Now, next thing, let's go ahead and take a look at exactly what number you need to correlate all of this with, okay? So, got the QB, he's a senior, facing bottom 20 against a pretty bad pass defense. All right. Now, the odds that you want to look at, because I've did years of research on this, and there is a range that you need to be in. So the alternate passing yards, which is what this prop is going to be, needs to fall in the category of minus 270 to minus 330. All right. That's where it needs to fall. It needs to fall in that category. And again, this is alternate passing yards, which you can find at any one of your major sports books. Okay. Need to be in the range of minus 270 to minus 330 under the alternate passing yards. Now, every quarterback's yardage is going to be different. This isn't like the NFL where they have a base where it's like 200 or 225 or 250 or 275. It ranges in college football, okay? Because sometimes a quarterback could be throwing for 400 or 500 yards a game, and his minus 270, minus 330 line is 300 passing yards because he's expected to get way over that. So, again, QB, senior, facing bottom 20 against the pass, alternate passing line between 270 and 330. Now, the offense that quarterback is a part of, this is key as well. The offense that he is a part of needs to have a 55% or better pass play percentage. So what does that mean? That means that the majority of what this team does runs through the quarterback, runs through the passing game. Because sometimes you will see it, pretty even, like 50-50. 50 passing, 50 rushing. You don't really want that. You want an offense that's more dominant towards the passing area, so that way they're going to let that QB throw the ball and have a better opportunity for you to reach his alternate passing yardage. Now, with these odds, we need, obviously, an implied probability here, right? So if we do the average here, it's about minus 300. So the average implied probability is going to be 75%, is what you're going to see there. But what we want is the true probability, okay, the TP, true probability, to be 90% or better. And you will find a couple QBs every single weekend that has this advantage, okay? And they hit 90% of the time if their true probability is 90%. Now, of course, people think betting these type of odds, I'm not going to make a lot of money. It's not going to happen. I have to wager a bunch of money. You don't. It's the same thing. Whether you wager a lot of money or you wager a little amount of money, it's still the same thing that's coming back to you. It just matters on how much you're actually betting. If you're betting a lot, obviously you're going to get a decent amount back. If you're betting little, you're going to get a little amount back. It's the same thing. All right? But 90% needs to be the true probability here. Not 80, not 75. It needs to be 90% or better. All right? Put that little arrow there because it could be better. 90% or better. I've seen sometimes where it was 95%. And what do you know it? Yeah, of course. They ended up winning that bet. So again, let's go through this one more time here. All right? And I promise you, if you guys wait to the end here, I'm going to give you some of the key numbers in college football as well that you need to look at because those are very, very important as well. But let's go ahead and go through this one more time. QB, alternate passing yards between minus 270 to minus 330. He's a senior. He's facing the bottom 20 against the pass, and his team is 55% or better on the pass play percentage side, meaning they are dominant towards passing. They focus on the passing game. True percentage needs to be 90% or above, and the implied probability is already given with what the odds are going to be. So ideally, you're looking for that edge to be 15% or greater for you to be able to go ahead and put that play in. Now, if you just want to fast forward through all this stuff and you just want me to give you exactly the plays that you see that go through this every single week, all you got to do is click the link down in the description. Now that we got the 90% probability play for college football out of the way, let's talk about the key numbers when it comes to college football. Let's go ahead and talk about the spreads first. So the spreads, this is basic, all right? So minus 3.5, minus 7.5, minus 10.5, minus 14.5, minus 21.5. Because it goes up even further. Obviously, college football, you will have spreads that go 20 plus. You know that. So if you're betting the favorite side here, what are you looking to get here? Okay, you have to buy off of these numbers. Here you would go to 2.5. Here you'd go to 5.5. Okay, because that's barring any extra points being missed or whatnot. You want to bypass that. 10.5, you go to 9.5. 14.5, you go to 13.5 or 12.5. Because again, missed extra points and stuff. And then 21.5, you're just going down to 20.5. Don't worry about the extra points there, because then you need multiple extra points to be missed and stuff, so you don't got to worry about that. All right, so if you're betting the favorite, this is the side you're going to be on. Now, if you are betting the underdog, these lines are fine for you. Okay? If you change these to plus, these are fine. You don't need to buy anything. If you're on the opposite side here, though, let's say change all those to pluses. Okay? If you're on an underdog and it's plus 2.5, well, now you're buying up to what? 3.5, 5.5, 7.5, 9.5, 10.5, 12.5, 13.5 to 14.5. All right, because it's the opposite. You want to be above those key numbers and buy off and on those key numbers, because that is where you'll get burned by the hook most of the time. Now let's go ahead and talk about totals. All right, most common totals. What's going to be first one is 55. You guys probably seen that a lot. All right, that hits 3.8% of the time. Okay, next one up on that list is going to be 51. That hits 3.7% of the time. Next on that list is going to be 41, 3.5%. Then next up there is going to be 59, which is 3.2%. And then I'm just going to do a couple here for you guys. All right, 58 and then 45. So what does this mean now? If you fall on one of these totals, you have to buy off of it. Okay, so 55, if you're looking at the over, you're going to 54.5. If you're looking at the under, you're going up one to 55.5. 51, if you're looking at the over, you're going down a half or 1 point, depending on how much you want to go. And then if you're looking at the under, obviously you're going above that. Now, a tricky one is like right here, 59 and 58. So if you're looking at the over on 59, you obviously can't go to 58 because that's a key number. So you'll bypass that number as well, go to 57.5. If you're looking on the opposite side of this, you'd go to 59.5 or 60. All right? Might sound a little bit tricky of what I tell you there when it comes to key numbers, but I promise you, if you write this stuff down and you understand what it is that I'm telling you and how important this really actually is, it's going to save you thousands of dollars, especially when you're betting the spreads and the totals, because there's so many times where they fall exactly on these numbers, and next thing you know, you're either pushed or sometimes you'll lose by literally a half a point or whatnot. So very important to understand the spreads and totals and the key numbers aspect when you are betting those spreads and totals.